Peace, family, and welcome back to Nurturing Birth, Nurturing Life, the space where we dive deep into all things home birth, natural birth, childbirth, parenting, and all the little tricky things in between. I am Yayo, your community doula with over 10 years of experience, here to talk to you today about something that we all should know about. Imagine you're in labor. Contractions are slowing down, you're exhausted, and the nurse walks in telling you they need to start IV fluids and Pitocin. You freeze. Pitocin? IV? Why? You feel that there is nothing wrong. You want to trust the professionals. You ask yourself, did I miss a conversation where this was previously discussed? Today, we're talking about something every pregnant person and their partners should feel empowered to understand: informed consent. It's about having the knowledge and the autonomy to make decisions for your body, your labor, and your birth experience. Whether you're a first-time parent or already have a few children under your belt in your home, informed consent isn't just a legal term. It's a foundation for your birth journey as a whole. So let's break it down. What is informed consent and why does this matter so much, especially for Black birthing people who have historically been left out of these conversations? Stay with me while we dig into it. Okay, so let's start by diving deeper into what exactly informed consent really means, and more importantly, what it should mean during pregnancy, labor, and birth. A lot of people think of informed consent as a one-time thing, right? I know majority of the families I support, that is their belief. You can sign a piece of paper and boom, it's over. But in reality, what I like to explain is informed consent should not be viewed as just an event. It is actually a process, a continuous, ongoing conversation that's meant to unfold throughout your entire pregnancy and birthing experience. Again, it's an ongoing conversation that is meant to unfold throughout your entire pregnancy and birthing experience. Think about it like this. Informed consent is about giving you the power and knowledge to make choices at every step of the journey, whether it's deciding about tests, interventions, or even pain management options. It's not about saying yes or no to something. It's about being an active participant in the decisions that affect your body, your baby, and your birth story. Why would you not want to be an active participant in that? Why do they not stress informed consent in the birthing experience? So let's break that down. The first thing to understand is that informed consent is about information. You can't give consent if you don't have the facts. But here is where it gets really murky. This information has to be accessible to you, not just medical jargon thrown your way. And that's where your role comes in. Ask questions. And if they're not giving you the answers you need, push for more, because it's your right. You have every right to have them dive deep or to provide evidence-based facts to whatever information they are disclosing to you. And to be totally transparent, I do understand that this can be tough. Sometimes in the chaos and intensity of labor, it can feel truly overwhelming to even think about asking questions or making decisions, right? Especially when you're already exhausted, overwhelmed, or even frightened of the unknown. But that's why it's crucial to start this process early. Informed consent begins before the contractions start. You can start by talking to and asking about your intended birth plan, the procedures that may be planned, care planning, and any risks or alternatives to the care they're recommending. And when I say they, I mean your care team, your birth team, whoever you have supporting you during your birth experience. It's not just about saying yes or no, as I stated earlier. In the heat of the moment, saying yes or no, it may seem like the logical thing to do. But it's about setting the stage for your autonomy long before you're in active labor. It's about setting the stage for your autonomy long before you're in active labor. Let's talk about the timing of consent. This is where that process piece really comes into play. It's not just one conversation, and it's not just about a single moment where someone asks you for permission. Informed consent, again, needs to be ongoing, which means your questions and your decisions should be revisited as things evolve. The medical team should be checking in with you regularly, especially when they're proposing new interventions or any updates. For example, if the doctor recommends a cesarean because they're concerned about baby's heart rate, right? That's not a one and done conversation. Can we agree? You need to understand the reasoning behind it, the risks involved, and whether there are any alternatives. Because the reason for a baby's heart rate dropping can be because of a number of things. And once we pinpoint what the true issue is a cesarean section truly needed? And here's something important. Informed consent is not just about what's happening in the delivery room. It's about everything leading up to it. Prenatal care, your choices for your birth plan, your options for pain relief, even decisions about who will be there during your labor. All of these are part of the process. And remember, consent can be revoked at any time. You can change your mind, and you should never feel pressured into a decision. But listen, I know this process can be complicated for people of color, particularly Black people. Historically, Black women have been subjected to complete disrespect and disregard in the health system, and that has led to higher rates of medical intervention without adequate consent and a general lack of trust. The health disparities we face often stem from a failure to ensure that we fully understand what's happening to our bodies and lives. So informed consent is more than just a right. It's a matter of equity. It's about having the same opportunity to be heard, to make informed choices, and to have those choices respected. And while I know that sometimes there are systemic barriers to getting that kind of care, there are ways we can advocate for ourselves. You don't have to do this alone, as I tell you in every video. Seek out doulas, midwives, or advocates in general who can help you navigate these conversations, especially when your medical team isn't providing clear answers or respecting your wishes. I get it. This can truly feel daunting, but being informed is your superpower. And the sooner you start that process, whether it's at your first prenatal appointment or just before you head into the delivery room, the more control you'll have in shaping your experience. You are not just a passive participant in your birth, and you don't want them to treat you as such. You have the right to ask questions, to say no, to request alternatives, and to make decisions about what happens to your body. Full stop. You know how to say no as a sentence? Period. Okay? And if you're wondering, okay, what does this look like in real life? I'm going to give you a few questions you can ask when you're in the process of giving informed consent, whether it's in the prenatal or birthing stage. Okay? 5 questions that I suggest my families do ask when they are in the presence of hospital staff who may seem to just be throwing suggestions or recommendations at them. This is the general list that I provide my families. So question 1 generally is, what exactly is the procedure or intervention you're suggesting, and why is it necessary? Question 2, what are the risks involved, both short-term and long-term? Question 3, are there any alternatives to this procedure? And what are the benefits and risks of those options? Question 4, what will happen if we don't proceed with this intervention? This is actually one of my favorite questions. And question 5, how will this affect my labor, my birth experience, and my recovery afterward? Now again, this is just a general list that I provide to some of my families that I support as a doula to open up that door and keep that door open. This is not a complete list. These aren't the only questions you are allowed. You can inquire as little or as much as you would like until you feel like your questions, your wants, and your needs are satisfied. By asking these questions, you're not only empowering yourself, but you're also setting the tone for a deeper, more collaborative relationship with your healthcare team. By asking these questions, you're not only empowering yourself, but you're also setting the tone for a deeper, more collaborative relationship with your healthcare team. And if they're not answering your questions in a way that makes sense, or if they seem dismissive or rushed, that is a red flag. Run. Please, Charlie, run. Trust your gut and seek another option if you need to. Truly, guys. Okay, so now that we've talked about why informed consent is a process and not just a one-time event, let's discuss how to put this into this. Because here's the thing. It's all well and good to know about informed consent, but how do you actually make it work in real time? Especially in a system that can often feel like it's pushing decisions onto you, right? First, it is crucial to build a strong support team. If you haven't, please check out my other video on my channel where we talk about how to build your dream birth team, okay? So whether that's a doula, your partner, a family member, or a friend, you need people around you who can help you navigate these conversations. Make sure you have someone who can advocate for you if you're too tired, exhausted, stressed, or just in too much pain to have the conversation yourself. And second, prepare. Start the conversation early. Write down your birth preferences. Ask questions ahead of time, whether that's with your OBGYN, your midwife, or doula. Get a clear understanding of what interventions are routine, which ones might just be a suggestion based on your specific situation, or which ones actually need. And third, remember it's okay to pause. Think about the information you just received. Give yourself some time to sit with it, digest with it, if your situation allows. If you're being pressured into a decision and you don't feel comfortable with it, ask for a moment to just think, or even request a second opinion if needed. This is your body, your baby, and your birth. You deserve space to make those decisions with confidence and with all the information that is available to make that informed choice. So in closing, informed consent is about more than just signing a form, friends. It's a process, a conversation that should happen before, during, and after birth. It's your right to be a part of that conversation every single step of the way. And while it may seem overwhelming at first, the more informed and prepared you are, the more empowered you'll feel throughout your pregnancy, labor, and I hope this conversation helps you feel more equipped to advocate for yourself in your birth experience. And remember, your voice matters. Your desires matter. Your consent matters. Take care of yourself, hydrate, take care of your body, and know that you are not alone in this. Until next time, family, you're out. If you're enjoying the content here at Nurturing Birth, Nurturing Life, please subscribe to this channel. If you find my content informational and beneficial, feel free to share with a family member or friend. To book a consultation with us here at Nature's Nest, the Divine Doula, you can visit www.divinedoulassupport.com.